Calm down, will you? Come on.
If you don't have pillows, grab a pillow or two.
Okay.
And have those handy. You can get them out of the bedroom. I'm teaching. All right. Maybe give it one more minute for people to join. Looks like it's sunny there. Is it, Brooklyn? Is it? Nice. I wasn't sure. I heard that the 2 or 3 dams failed.
Really? Where was that at?
That's in Michigan.
There was one in Midland, right?
Yeah. All right.
All right. You hear my kids in the background.
Yes, we can.
Should probably mute. All right. Have fun, guys.
All right. Let's give it just a minute for Tony, since it's just the 2 of you. How are you, Linda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in North Carolina right now.
Oh, that's
This
fun.
is where my family is, so my mom is in here, and my
Yeah.
dog. But I don't have the same space as usual, so I probably won't be demonstrating as much because it's a little cramped in this nook. But no, it's okay. But that's okay. Hopefully we'll talk through it. And that means I can watch you guys instead. So we're gonna start today in child's pose. So bring your big toes together and your knees apart. And then just gently rest your chest down on the floor between your knees. Reach your hands away from you. Allow your forehead to rest down as well. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow the body to melt down towards the earth. Take another big breath in. Feel the back expand. And sigh it out the mouth. Release. Oh, we've got more folks coming in. There we go. All right. Allison, we are starting in child's pose. All right. Nice. There we go. And I don't know about you guys, but it's been a pretty chaotic time. I think for the world it has been. And one exercise that I have recently come upon that has been helpful for me just to relieve my mind of some of the stress and just remind myself of what all there is to look forward to in life. Every now and then I partake in an exercise that is I've just only heard it called 3 good things. So as you lay here in this child's pose and start to come into your breath, maybe reflect on the day or the week so far and just find 3 good things that you can bring some gratitude into the space for. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be maybe just getting out of bed this morning. It can be the sunshine. It can be the rain. Pets are a great thing, family, particular moments. And as you start to reflect, begin to deepen your breath. Try to lengthen out the exhales so that they are equally as long as the inhales. And if you haven't done so yet, stretch your arms out in front of you, reaching your fingertips away from you. On your next exhale, sink your hips back down towards your heels a little bit more. Keep them planted there. Walk your hands over to the left. Stretch through the right side of your body. Maybe even stack your right hand on top of the left. And try to breathe some space in between the ribs. So feel that expansion. We've got just a couple breaths here. On your next inhale, bring your hands back to center. And exhale, walk them over to the right. Stretch through the left side of the body. Again, finding that space in between the ribs. Getting as long as you can, sending the breath into this area. On an inhale, bring the hands back through center. Take 2 more breaths to settle in here. Maybe if you've found 3 good things so far, see if you can think of 1 more. And just as we start to hold these poses, and it becomes a little bit more difficult, sometimes we're a little bit challenged with the poses, maybe come back to these 3 good things, or maybe just 1 of them. On an inhale, come to a tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. We're going to do just a little bit of wrist warm up here, not too long. And so what I want you to do is fingertips facing forward. Let's see if, there we go. Fingertips facing forward. I want you to just take the shoulders in circles, going one direction first, maybe about 3 times, and then back the other way. Once you've done 3 each way, point the fingers out to the sides, maybe even slightly back, doesn't have to be too much, and rock side to side. Take your time here, there's no rush. And from here, turning the fingertips all the way back towards the knees, rocking forwards and backwards now. Been doing a lot more handstands recently, since I'm still not allowed to pick up a barbell. And it is imperative, if you're spending time on your hands, which we do even in down dog, right? That you warm up the wrist. So from here, point the fingertips back forward and then flip the hands so that you're on the top. Begin to ball the fingers up into little fists and then relax them, spread the fingers out. And maybe even bring your weight back a little bit more to exaggerate the stretch through the back of the wrist. Nice. And flip the hands. Walk them about a palm's length in front of you. We're going to come right into our downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, making that upside down V shape. So first, take a little bit of bend in the knees right here. Just a little bit of buoyancy. And with this bend in the knees, press your torso back towards your thighs. So reaching your chest through your arms and pressing it back towards the thighs. Yes, getting really long in the spine. Nice, I like that. Good job, Tony. Inhale, come up high onto both toes. Lift your sits bones high to the sky. Exhale, melt the heels over to the left so that you're on the outside edge of the left foot and the inside edge of the right foot. So you're still in your downward facing dog, but it's kind of a tilted one. Yes. Inhale up through center, take the heels over to the right. So now outside edge of the right foot, inside edge of the left foot. Keep pressing the torso back towards the thighs. Inhale, come back up onto the tiptoes. Look between the fingertips and exhale, tiptoe your feet to the top of the mat. Coming to a forward bend at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back, pull your shoulder blades together, reach the spine long. Keeping the length in the spine, exhale, fold. Relaxing the neck, shake your head, yes and no here. Take a bend in the knees and then slowly roll yourself up to standing as slowly as you can. Bringing the head over the shoulders and reach your hands up overhead, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, fold, hands through center. Allow the chest to come down towards the thighs. Inhale, find that halfway lift, flat back. Hands press into the shins. Palm your mat, step back into a high plank pose. Pull the navel to the spine. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. So shoulders over the wrists here. Press forward into your toes just a little bit more. Yes. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the elbows. Come all the way down to the mat. So chest to the mat. And we're going to take a little heart opener. Bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers at your low back. From here, reach your hands away from your low back. Lift the chest. Keep your toes down on the mat. Pull shoulder blades together. Reach the crown of the head forward. Breathing here for 3, 2. Exhale, release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press back into that downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Inhale, come up high onto your toes. Look between your hands. You can tiptoe, hop, step, or float, come to the top of the mat. Yes, taking tiny hops if that feels good. Nice, you guys. Halfway lift when you get there, flat back. Reach the spine long. Exhale, fold. Try to move with the breath if you can. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Reach the fingertips high. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find that halfway lift, flat back. Palm your mat, step back into a high plank. Tony, are you having shoulder issues? Exhale, lower all the way down. Okay, maybe skip the chaturangas for you. And then find that that heart opener. So interlace the fingers behind your back. This is just a gentle way to warm up the spine. Yes, reach the hands long. And exhale, release, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, press back, downward facing dog. This time, shorten your downward facing dog if you're ready for a little bit more. Plant your hands, index fingers point forward, and I'm gonna challenge you if you wanna take this option. If you don't, feel free to skip it. Press weight into your hands, and in one jump, come to the top of the mat. Nice, halfway lift when you get there, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Sweep your arms up high, stretch to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bring your chest towards your shins. Halfway lift, lengthen. One more time through this. Palm your mat, step back. High plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. Still taking this gentle heart opener. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, open the heart. Reach your fingers in the opposite direction of your head. So just really pull your arms to the wall back behind you. Nice, Linda. Exhale, lower hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the mat. Downward facing dog. Option to shorten it up and take that one jump to the top of the mat. Or if you want, you can step to the top. Nice, Linda. Nice, Allison. Halfway lift, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bring the big toes to kiss. Squeeze your legs together. Sink the hips, chair pose. Yes, try to bring the weight into the heels if you can. So maybe that means you need to come out of your chair pose just a little bit. Hands can always be at prayer if the shoulders are tired. Exhale, release, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, palm your mat, lift your left leg, lunge to the back of the mat, find a high crescent pose. So our legs are in a lunge, deep end in your front leg. I'm sorry, you can't see very much right now. Back knee is up off the mat. However, if you want to drop all the way down, you're welcome to do so. Stack your shoulders up over your hips. Hands can remain at prayer or bring your arms up overhead. Nice. Pull the navel in and up. Low ribs are squeezing towards your hips. And see if you can sink a little lower in that right knee. If your left knee is already down on the mat, then don't worry about sinking too much. Just maintain. Breathing here. Keep reaching through the left fingertips. Drop your right hand towards your left thigh. Stretch up with those left fingertips. Maybe take the gaze up. On an exhale, float your left hand down to the mat, right hand up to the sky. Again, here you can still keep the knee down or you can lift it up. Exhale, both hands are down on the mat now. Bring your weight into your right foot. Find a grounded airplane. So hands stay down, just lift your left leg. You can't see me. So you lift your back leg, hands are down on the mat. It's a nice gentle stretch in the back of your right leg. Beautiful, left foot meets right, chair pose. Legs squeeze together, keep the weight into the heels, sink your hips. Nice, we're gonna take an open arm twist to the right, so right arm comes back, left arm forward. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Keep your hands down on the mat as you lunge your right foot back, finding that lunge, that high lunge. If you took the low lunge on the other side, take a low lunge on this side. So deep bend in your left knee, facing the front of your mat or the front of your space. High on your back toes. And if you're ready for it, stretch the arms up to the sky. If the shoulders are too taxed right now, hands can be at prayer, that's perfectly fine. See if you can sink a little deeper into that left knee. Nice, you guys. Take the reverse revolved crescent lunge, left hand now to your right thigh, right hand up to the sky. Gaze is gonna follow your lifted right fingertips. Play with your balance here. Exhale, float your right hand down to the mat, left hand up to the sky, taking a twist. Deepen the breath. On your next exhale, left hand floats down, weight into your left foot, finding that grounded warrior three. So right leg floats to hip height. Keep your hips squared to the mat. Yes, nice, Linda. Yeah, so see if you can notice whether or not your right hip is sticking up towards the sky or if your legs, or excuse me, your hips are squared off to the mat. You might even bring your right hand to your hip to feel if it's tilted or not. And try to drop your right hip in line with the left. Get strong in that lifted leg. One more deep breath in here. Exhale, chair pose. Right foot meets left, squeeze your legs together, sink your hips, lift your arms. Nice, taking that open arm twist to the left this time. Exhale, left arm comes back, right arm forward. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, fold over your legs. Nice. Separate your feet out to shoulder width distance or maybe even wider. We're going to come down into a yogi squat. Toes turn out to the sides. Here, so you can see what my feet and legs are doing. Toes turn out to the sides. Allow your knees to point out to the sides too. Try to bring your weight into your heels. Yes, if you can't, maybe give yourself a little bit more space. Then bring your hands to prayer and press your elbows out into your knees. Yeah, so you can take as wide of a stance as you want here. Nice, you guys. Yes, looks good. From here, we're going to take an open arm twist to the right. Left arm plants in front of and outside of that left foot. Right arm reaches out to the sky. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, you can even bring your right hand down to your right knee and press it away from you gently. On an exhale, return to center, hands at prayer. Switch sides, right hand down, out in front of your right foot. Left hand up to the sky, eyes follow those lifted fingertips. Again, if you want to take this a little bit further, left hand to the inside of that left thigh and press the knee away from you, yes. Exhale, hands to prayer. One more big breath in here. Hands come down to the mat. As you exhale, lift your hips, heel toe your feet back together. Keep a little bend in the knees here and just hang over your legs. Hands grabbing opposite elbows, taking a ragdoll, feet separated a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a base. Shake your head, yes and no. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, releasing the hands. Palm your mat, step back into a high plank pose. Nice. We're going to go ahead and move through our vinyasa here if you want to take it. If not, stay in that high plank pose. So exhale, lower halfway down for your chaturanga. And then inhale, pull the heart forward, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back, just come into that high plank pose again. So not into downward facing dog. We're gonna open up into a plank, right hand up, left hand down. Try to stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Always an option to drop your left knee down to the mat to give yourself more stability. Challenging ourselves, playing with our balance here. Float your right leg and pull the right knee into the chest. Keep breathing. As you exhale, step your right foot up to the top of the mat. Find a warrior two. Nice, you guys. So a deep bend in your front knee. Your left toes are gonna turn out, so they're pointed to the long edge of the mat. And then strong and straight in that left leg. Yeah, hips open out to the side. Reach your hands away from one another. Sink a little bit deeper into your right knee. Press your right knee out towards the pinky side of the foot. Yeah, don't let the knee cave in. Turn on that gluteus medius. Nice. From here, modified side angle. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm reaches up and overhead. If you have the space to, you can bring your right hand down inside your right foot. If you don't want to take it there, you don't have to. Nice. From here, inhale, keep a deep bend in your right knee, but stretch your right arm up and overhead for peaceful warrior. Exhale, you're going to rotate onto that back foot, onto the toes, and then drop your left hand down to the floor. We've been here before. Nice. And we're coming back out of this flow the same way we came in. So press down into your left hand, reach your right fingertips up to the sky, step back into a high plank pose. One more big breath here. Exhale, both hands down to the mat, lower into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull the heart forward. Yes. Exhale, find that high plank pose. So we're working the core a little bit more in this flow here. Same thing, left side. Go ahead and allow the heels to fall over to the right, left hand up to the sky. Deepen your breath. Float those left toes up off of the right foot. Pull the left knee into the chest. See if you can keep your left hand up and then lunge your left foot to the top of the mat, warrior two. Wide stance with the legs. Bending in your left knee, strong and straight in your back right leg. And try to make sure your left knee isn't coming out in front of the toes. It's okay if it's in front of the ankle a little bit. Yes. Think a little bit deeper here. Pull your shoulders back so that they're over the hips. So try not to lunge the body forward. Nice, you guys. Exhale, drop your left forearm to your left knee, right arm up to the sky. So modified side angle. Keeping this nice bend in your left knee. Inhale into a peaceful warrior. Left hand up and overhead. Stretch to the left side of the body. just like we did in that child's pose when we started class. Exhale, windmill the right hand down, come high onto the right toes, left hand up to the sky. Taking a twist, so you're high on those back toes, nice you guys. And then set up to transition back into that side plank. So drop your back foot flat, keep reaching your left fingertips up if you can, and then step your left foot back. Take one more big breath here, nice you guys. Exhale, both hands come down and you lower into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull the heart towards the front of the space. Exhale, back child's pose this time. Nice. From here, allowing the forehead to rest down onto the mat. Roll the forehead from side to side. Just give it a little bit of a massage. Take a big deep breath in. Open your mouth side out. Nice. We're going to come into just a little bit of core work. That wasn't already core work, right? From here, come into that plank pose. So shift your shoulders forward, high plank. And then drop down onto your forearms for a forearm plank. So you can press your hands together like in prayer, or you can press your palms down on the mat, but try not to grip the hands together, right? Try to keep your hands at least somewhat relaxed. From here, tap your right hip down to the mat, lift it back up. Same thing left side. Try to move with your breath, slow, steady movement. So exhale as you drop the hip down to the right, inhale as you lift it up. Exhale, hip to the left, inhale, lift it up. Keep moving, keep breathing. Take your time, no rush. Nice, Allison, super smooth. Yes. Finish it up if you're on the left side, come back through center. Now, if your hands are flat, go ahead and bring them to prayer. I'm gonna have you come into a dolphin pose. So you're gonna send your sits bones up to the sky and then begin to walk your feet in just a little bit. So you might feel this in your shoulders. Let me turn so you guys can see what it looks like. So hands are gonna be at prayer. It's gonna give you just a little bit more to press into. And then walk your feet in just a little bit. So it's a really short and downward facing dog, but on your forearms. And you can just let your head hang heavy. Try not to let any tension into the neck. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Feel an opening in the thoracic spine and shoulders. Nice. And from here, plant your hands down onto the mat so that they're no longer in prayer, and then push up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right foot up to the sky for 3 points, or 3-legged dog. Exhale, pull the knee to the nose, round the spine, yes. Inhale, 3 points, sweep that leg back up to the sky. Exhale, pull knee to nose, really squeeze it in tight. And then lightly plant the right foot down in between the hands, rise up, warrior 1 this time. So your back foot is gonna drop flat. Toes are pointed slightly forward though. Yes, and then you've got to bend in that right knee. From here, interlace your fingers at your low back. Yeah. Stretch your arms long, so try to get your arms straight here. And then exhale, fold inside that right leg. Allow the head to hang heavy, allow your hands to come away from your back. This is humble warrior. Try to drop your left shoulder down towards the floor a little bit more. It likes to stay hiked up, especially if we're tight. Keep allowing those fingertips to fall away from your low back. Nice. On an exhale, release the hands down to the mat, come into a high runner's lunge. So you're going to spin up onto the ball of that back foot. We're going to work through some balancing postures on the right leg. Inhale, rise up, left knee comes into the chest. Beautiful, figure four, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Hands come to prayer, sink the hips back. Nice, if you have a wall, you can use that for some stability. See if you can take it a little bit further down, press that left knee away from you. Inhale, slowly rise back up, left knee into the chest. Option to grab the knee here, or if you want to challenge yourself, peace sign fingers to your left big toe. So totally your choice. Even if you grab the toe, you can keep the knee bent. No right, no wrong. And if you do grab the toe, maybe you extend it just a little bit, keeping the knee bent. Nice, yes, way to challenge yourself, guys. If you fall out of it, just get back in. One more big breath. Exhale, release the foot, allow it to float down to meet the right, and then shake it out. Nice. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Palm your mat, step back into your high plank pose. Exhale, lower into your chaturanga. Always the option to drop to your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog, open your heart. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Keeping your hands where they are, we're gonna take one of those little dolphin to downward facing dog push-ups. So you're gonna drop your elbows down to the mat and then press into the hands, lift them back up. Yes. All right, we're gonna do two more of those. Challenge yourself. Exhale, drop the elbows down to the mat. Inhale, press into the hands, lift yourself back up. Yes, one more. Drop the elbows down, coming into dolphin. Inhale, press into the hands, lift back up. Beautiful. On an inhale, left toes up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Get into a tight little ball here. Shift your shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, 3 points. Sweep that left foot up to the sky. Exhale, pull it back in. Cheetah, knee to chest or knee to nose if you can get it there. And then float that left foot between the hands, warrior one. Hands reach up to the sky. Hips kind of square off towards the front of the mat, but your right toes are turned out slightly. Right heel is connecting to the earth. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Try to lengthen through your elbows, and then exhale, fold inside of that left knee for a humble warrior. Release the neck, allow the head to hang heavy. Allow the hands to come away from the low back. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lower the hands down to the earth, come into that high runner's lunge. So spin onto the ball of your back foot. And then inhale, shift weight into the left foot, pull the right knee into the chest. Find your balance. Drop your right ankle over your left knee, find that figure four. Exhale, sink the hips down and back. Hands can be a prayer here, reaching overhead. Sometimes I just rest, pressing my left hand into the bottom of my right foot and my right hand on my knee. Totally your choice. Keeping the breath, but keep the heart lifting up towards the sky as the hips sink low. Exhale, and then inhale, rise up, right knee lift. Finding that big toe hold. So again, you can always just grab the knee, perfectly acceptable here. you want to challenge that balance a little bit more, peace-sign fingers find your right big toe, steady yourself, and then just begin to extend the leg slowly, bit by bit, again and again, right? You don't have to go all the way to 100% right off the bat. If you fall out, you just find your way back into the pose. We've got one more deep breath in. Exhale, float that right foot down to meet the left. Shake it out, rolling feet one way and then the other. Find your feet, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, stretch tall, exhale, fold forward. Nice, you guys. We're gonna settle down a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Palm your mat, step back into a high plank, and then drop your knees. If you want to take a vinyasa, you're welcome to do so. I always skip them if I have the option. From here, just step your right foot up outside of your right hand, finding a nice dragon lunge. This is going to work a few different areas in the hips depending on how you want to focus the stretch. So you keep that right knee in and focus on pressing your pelvis forward. Then you're going to feel this more in the front of that left hip. If you want it more of a stretch in the right outer hip, you can allow the knee to open up on your right leg. So if you're doing that, oftentimes the foot is going to come up onto the edge. Nice. So find where you need this stretch the most. And if you want to take it down to the elbows, you're welcome to do so. If you're fine and comfortable where you are on your hands, just stay up on your hands. And you can always change, right? You can always decide to drop down to your elbows in just a few breaths, or you can back out if you need to. Come back to your breath. Maybe close your eyes here. Come back to your 3 good things. See if you can add to your list. You've got 2 more breaths in this pose, not long. And after that second breath, if you're on your elbows, press into your hands. If your knee is out to the side, gently pull it back in. We're gonna come into our pigeon stretch. Actually, before we come into pigeon, we're gonna come into deer pose. So heel toe your right foot over to the left. Come down onto your outer right hip. And then bring your left knee so that it's coming straight out from the left hip. So you've got 2 90-degree bends in the knees, right? 90-degree bend in this right knee in front of you, 90-degree bend in this left knee to the side of you. Turn your torso towards the right knee. Maybe you place your pillow, if you have it, right on top of your right leg, and then slowly begin to fold over that right leg. I find that this can be, especially as I stay and breathe here a little bit longer, this can be a pretty good stretch for me in my outer right hip. If you're like, no, I just really need more, start to straighten out your left leg behind you. And then slowly make your way into that pigeon. But if this feels like you're right at like a 60% stretch in that outer right glute, just stay here. See if you can relax the neck and shoulders. Allow the head to touch down onto something, maybe even stacking the hands, making a little pillow for yourself. And we'll be here for a few moments. Checking in with your breath, making sure that it's full and deep, making sure that it's still steady. On your next exhale, see if you can just melt your chest a little bit closer to the earth. Just about 3 more breaths in this pose. Slowly start to press into the hands. Lift your chest. Roll onto that right hip and swing your left leg around. Extend both legs out in front of you. We're going to take a seated forward fold. Again, if you have a pillow, you might want it for this. It's sometimes nice to take a more passive forward fold. Inhale, stretch the spine up tall. Press down into your sit bones, and then exhale, just begin to walk your hands away from you. When you get to that point where you're like, this is it, this is my max, then go ahead and just fall into it. If you've got a pillow, it's nice to lay that right across your lap and just rest your head on it or rest your chest on it. And if you notice that your low back is rounding, try to just have a little give in your knees. I'll take some of the tension out of the back. Maintaining the breath here. Finding those long, steady exhales to match every every inhale. On your next exhale, see if you can release some of the tension in your shoulders. Try not to hold any more than is necessary. For these next 3 breaths, just try to melt a little bit more into this pose. Nice. And slowly, using your arms to help you, pressing into the hands. Take your time. Roll yourself back up to seated. See how slowly you can move. And pull your knees into your chest. Rock forward, find that tabletop pose. On an exhale, step your left foot up outside of your left hand, coming into that dragon lunge. Again, you can keep the left knee in if you want. Try to keep the knee behind the ankle, or at least behind the toes. Yeah. So maybe you hop that foot up a little bit. Yeah, nice, you guys. Good adjustment. You can keep the left knee in towards the shoulder and feel the stretch in the front of your right hip here, or you can allow the knee to fall open to the side. Totally your choice. And once you find the option that you prefer to take, if you want to drop down to your forearms, you're welcome to do so. If you're comfortable on your hands, just stay there. We've got just about 5 more breaths here. After your 5th exhale, slowly begin to press into your hands. If you're on the forearms, pull that left knee back in. Move slowly here. You're gonna come into deer. So heel toe your left foot over to the right this time. Drop your left knee down, and then just allow your left hip to fall behind your left knee. From here, right knee comes out to the side, making those 2 nice 90-degree angles with the knees. And then turn the torso to face your left knee, sit up tall, lengthen the spine. On an exhale, walk your hands forward. Take your pillow with you if you want. You can lay it over the thigh, or you can lay it on the floor in front of you. You can use kitty cats as pillows. And release into this. Again, we're going to be in this one for a little while. Try to notice the areas where you hold tension. So we're releasing in the hips right now. Obviously, we're trying to release tension there. But see if when you're releasing in one area, if you pick up tension in another area. Notice if it creeps into your neck or shoulders, maybe into your forehead or your jaw. Sometimes we ball our hands up in fists and we hold it there. Relax the fingers. Again, if as we're laying here, you want to take it deeper, you can always straighten out that right leg behind you. Just 3 more breaths in this pose. And after your 3rd exhale, gently start to press into your hands. Lift your chest. Roll onto your left hip again. Swing your right leg around. Coming into a butterfly pose. Soles of the feet are going to come together. And depending on how close in you have your feet, it's going to change where the stretch is. So I'm going to leave that up to you to play with if you want to bring them further in or leave them further out. So the further out they are, the more it's going to be in your outer hips. And then the further in they are, the more it's going to be in the groin. Okay? I'll allow you to play. I like somewhere in the middle is best for me. Once you find that spot, press your sits bones down into the mat, sit up tall, reach the heart forward, and then leading with that heart, start to come towards your toes. You can use your pillow on your feet if you want. Once you get to that stopping point, and just allow the head to hang heavy. And slowly begin to roll yourself back up, stack the shoulders up over the hips, plant your feet in front of you, and come back onto your back. Take your time. We're gonna do just 2 bridge poses. I'm gonna talk you through it instead of show you, because I don't have a very good way to show you this right now. So plant your feet, and you point up to the sky. Arms are gonna be long by your side. And go ahead and press your feet down into the earth right where they are, and press really into your heels. See if you can even lift your toes up. From here, take a big breath in and lift the hips. So you're using your heels here. You might feel this a lot in the hamstrings. Yeah. And then the action of the legs is almost as if you're going to slide your heels towards your shoulders. Keep them where they are, but really engage in those hammies. Go along the back line of the body. If you want to, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. You have the space for it. Get a little bit of a shoulder opener here. You're going to be here for 5 more breaths. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Nice, you guys. Steady the inhales and the exhales. You've got 3, 2, and if your hands are interlaced, gently release them. Allow the hips to come back to the floor. Take your knees from side to side. Just windshield wiper your legs gently. Nice. And we're going to take 1 more, this time taking it just a little bit further. Plant the feet. Nice. Press into the heels again. Lift the hips. Interlace the fingers behind the low back. Press the forearms down into the earth if you've got your hands grasped. Yes. Now go ahead and plant your feet down onto the earth. You're going to want that stability. Yep. On your next inhale, take your right toes straight up to the sky. Keep your hips lifted up though. Point through those toes. Get strong and straight through the lifted leg. Nice, Allison. Yes, you guys. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, lower the foot, but keep the hips up. We've got to even it out. Take those left toes up to the sky, point through the toes. Keep pressing into the forearms. Keep the hips up. Keep the breath. Try not to hold it. Keeping the hips up, gently lower the left toes. Hips are high. 1 more big breath. Exhale, lower it down. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Gently roll from side to side. Yes. Moving into our final supine twist. Allow the knees to fall over to the right. Arms come out to a T. Keep your shoulders down on the mat. Allow the head to fall to the left. And if you need to scooch it around so that your hips are a little bit more stacked, you can do that. Find what works for you. Inhale, come back up through center. Give your knees a little squeeze in. And exhale, drop them over to the other side. Again, arms out to a T, head to the right this time. Lift the knees back up through center, give them a big hug. Take a big breath in. Exhale, extend the legs long on the mat, arms by sides, palms up. Allow the toes to just flop open. Allow your shoulders to melt down into the mat, expanding through the collarbones. Eyes closed. Release control of the breath. And take rest. Begin to deepen your breath. And start to bring movement back into the body. Take your time, starting with the extremities, the fingers and the toes. And then work your way into wrists, ankles, elbows, and knees. Option for a full body stretch, or just go ahead and pull the knees back into the chest and give them a big squeeze. Gently make your way up to a comfortable seat. Use your arms to help you up. Sitting up tall, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. Thank you guys so much for joining me this afternoon. It's been my honor to guide you through this practice, to share it with you, share this energy. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, great rest of the week. Namaste.
Thank you. You too.
Really.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.